The sports, music, and entertainment collectible memorabilia industry is a billion-dollar space. Now, an Emmy-award winning journalist and lifelong collector has founded the first media outlet devoted to the collectible and memorabilia industry. His name is Darren Rovell, and he joins me now for a good discussion about this. Darren, how's it going, man?
Dexter, thanks for having me.
Glad to have you and talk to you here about this. And Darren, the collectible and memorabilia industry has reportedly reached a valuation of $500 billion. What are the key factors driving this explosive growth in recent years?
Well, I think it's always been around, right? I mean, people love to collect things from when they're kids, collecting baseball cards or comic books or figurines. I think what happened was in COVID, when everyone was left to themselves, they kind of realized that they could reach back to their past, to their childhood, and collect things that made them happy and kind of give them something when they're alone that they could kind of go back to. So there certainly was a COVID boom where there was a resurgence of want to get into, or get back into collecting. And that you could see that in terms of how all the categories rose the way they did.
Okay, Darren, so you founded Collect, the first media outlet devoted to the $500 billion collectible and memorabilia space. What sets Collect apart from other media outlets covering the collectible space, and what can collectors and enthusiasts expect from your platform in terms of content and features?
So this is all we do, right? So you see a lot of the TMZ or the AP or USA Today or ESPN. They'll report things that, when things are really big, when there's a big sale of a card, what have you, they'll report it, but then, they'll move on. We synthesize everything. If you're into getting into the space and game worn and cards and autographs and auctions, we are the site of record for the memorabilia industry, and we've had a lot of fun. We've done more than 50 stories in our first 7 days, and I think we've kind of come out of the gate and proven that we really know this space, and hopefully we can educate people out there.
Yeah, should have and let the people know that you just launched Collect earlier this month, so congratulations to you on the start of that. And wanted to ask you about this. Which types of memorabilia are currently the most in demand in the market, and why do you think items like game-worn jerseys and unique autographs capture so much attention and value?
Dexter, game-worn jerseys have exploded. I mean, that's the one that I look at, where, 15 years ago, you could have gotten something for a Jordan jersey for 50 grand, and now that jersey might be $800,000. And the reason why is there's something called photo matching, where they take a photo and they match it to the jersey, whether there's a string hanging or whether there's something a little bit off with the spacing of the jersey. They basically say, we can prove that this jersey was worn here, attach it to a number of games. If those games are significant, then that becomes a major piece. And so game worn we've seen the rise of game worn, and now Sotheby's has a deal with the NBA and they're auctioning off stuff. A auction house of that repute it's pretty amazing that they're doing that. So game worn's been on the rise. Type 1 photos, vintage cards, the 1952 Mantle Topps card. If you look at it maybe 20 years ago, you could have gotten it for, $50,000 in mint condition. And now mint condition for one of those is $10 million to $30 million.
Whew, a lot of money in the space for sure. Now, you've also mentioned this, Darren. You mentioned that memorabilia has emerged as a legitimate alternative asset class. Can you explain what makes collectibles a viable investment compared to more traditional assets that people may know?
Yeah, I mean, this is good that if you have a collection, you can explain to your partner, like, I'm actually, making money here. Yes, it is fun. But if you make the right moves, you can clearly make money. And, yes, it's alternative. It's not as thought highly of as, say, the stock market, but there's a lot of corollaries. And if you can beat the stock market if you have a good take and, it makes sense. I mean, my collectibles that I've gotten into, either checks or certainly tickets, old tickets have risen to the point where, you can 5 or 10x over the last 5 years because it's something that people love, and it's a new category and people get interested in it and addicted to it just like they get addicted to cards. So if you do it in the right places, your strategy makes sense, then you can really do well here.
Yeah, he absolutely can. So if you're looking to make some money, you want to invest in some collectibles, not a bad place to go there. I want to ask you about how it relates to athletes, and a specific athlete here. Caitlin Clark just drafted to the Indiana Fever last night. Given her stellar collegiate career, how do you see her presence in the WNBA influencing the sports memorabilia market?
Well, first we have to see exactly what happens to her Iowa jerseys. So we reported last week that there are six. She wore six throughout the season. She gave one away. She only wore one black and one gold, and the rest are white. So I'm interested to know what happens with her game worn stuff. I think, right now those things are probably worth $200,000 to $400,000 for record breakers, maybe a $500,000. But we're just not used to seeing women get that high in terms of collectibles, and we've only seen Serena Williams. I mean, one of Caitlin Clark's cards sold for $75,000, and only Serena had a card that was greater. So it's interesting to see this space and see where it's going to go and how Caitlin is driving it. Her jersey sold out really quickly last night. It's pretty amazing to see this because we've never had it before. So we've seen this with our athletes, but just Caitlin Clark gives us a new dynamic that we've never looked at.
Yeah, absolutely, she does in a variety of ways. Last thing for me, Darren, for somebody who might just be starting out in collecting memorabilia, what advice would you give them to help navigate this market and make informed investment decisions? What advice do you have?
Well, my number one piece of advice is buy what you like. You'll never get caught up with something if you like it. I think sometimes people go into investing and they say, where's the best place to make money? And then something goes down and they're really upset. And, if you buy what you like, I think that's an important thing because you can live with it if it doesn't go to the sky. And then the second thing is just do your work. Don't accept anything at its face. If you're getting an autograph, you want it to be PSA graded or SGC graded. JSA is another autograph authenticator. Go to the hobby guys that do this for a living and don't take anything on its face and just go read collect because we will have FAQs and everything to kind of help you navigate the space.
There you go. Love it. You want to be informed on the collectible space? Go read Collect for sure. That is Darren Rovell, the founder of Collect, doing a great job with that. Darren, I appreciate the time and educating the people and letting us learn a little bit more about this space. And we will talk again down the road.
Thanks, Dexter.